I was out in Iowa City interviewing Caitlin Clark back at the end of October and kind of asked her what was going to go into her decision process. And one of the things she told me was that she was hoping to make the decision before senior day.
A year ago, Caitlin Clark was the league's golden girl, the superstar face that made headlines and packed stadiums. However, after everything she's been through, she's had enough of the rough, borderline ridiculous behavior from the powers that be, because when you've seen firsthand what it takes to survive in this league, the humiliation, the underhanded cheating, the racial jabs, the uncalled fouls, you'd be furious too, and she's not keeping quiet.
Clearly knew what she wanted to do, and I love it because I've been through a senior day. It's a really emotional experience. It's a great time to kind of say thank you to the fans.
And ESPN's own nonsense has agitated the situation, so now Clark's message is crystal clear. This time, she's speaking up not only for herself, but also for young girls who are dreaming of playing basketball but are completely unaware of the difficult road ahead.
I think those were two of my biggest goals. And then obviously college basketball has come true, and then hopefully the WNBA here very shortly. But I think as a young girl, I was super competitive, and my parents always knew that, and I was always somebody that was driven by goals, and I think that's kind of remained the same.
And if you're not familiar with the specifics, allow me to give you the rundown. The event we're discussing is the WNBA Draft Lottery, which is held annually. The WNBA, which is essentially the pinnacle of women's basketball, attracts new talent from universities and international leagues, but don't assume that it's as easy as teams picking whoever they want.
You also look at her assist numbers. She's 6th all-time in assists. This year, she's leading the nation in assists.
Look at her assist totals as well. She leads the country in assists this season and ranks 6th all-time. Oh no, that would be far too simple. Instead, we have this crazier lottery system, where teams compete to rescue their sorry franchises from the basketball abyss. For them, it's not just a game, it's a matter of survival.
Caitlin Clark is the best offensive player that we have seen in the history of the women's college game. And then everything else that encompasses what she is doing in terms of growing the game. Things we've never seen on the women's college side, not only selling out all her home games, but on the road as well.
Why do you ask? Because receiving a top draft pick can completely transform your life. If your team has been a complete bust, winning only enough games to keep supporters somewhat awake, you need that first pick badly. We're discussing the type of selection that might bring you the next. For these faltering organizations, Caitlin Clark is a player that not only plays well but also lights up the scoreboard and makes your team irrelevant. It's similar like discovering a diamond after years of rock digging. It's hope, a chance for redemption, and let's face it, the only thing preventing their fan following from deserting them.
We haven't quite seen a phenomenon in terms of the attention that Caitlin Clark is getting in the women's college game.
The attention that Caitlin Clark is receiving in the women's college game is a phenomenon that we haven't quite noticed yet. Now, how does this absurd lottery system work? It's kind of ridiculous, for teams are vying for the top pick, but it's not just about how bad they were the previous season. Nope, you have to be consistently awful over the previous 2 seasons to have a reasonable chance. The Los Angeles Sparks have the best odds because they've had a few seasons that make any diehard fan cry into their nachos, but don't celebrate just yet because there are no guarantees. A lottery machine is used for the actual drawing. It's essentially fate with 14 numbered balls and a bunch of sweating executives, but it's crazy to make it a sporting intrigue since every team will be affected when those balls begin to bounce.
It wasn't something I ever really thought about too much. I was aware of it just because of the media and that's what people would talk about a lot, but it was never something like, oh my gosh, I need to do this or I need to break this. It's kind of just something that has come with.
When those balls begin to bounce around, every team executive is holding their breath and pleading with a higher power that their combination will appear. Only the top 2 picks are then determined in this manner, and whatever luck is left, if you don't make the top 2, you'll have better luck the following year, because hope is a delicate thing in this league.
Look at the WNBA. They have been playing in front of 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century.
However, it's about dreams, not just luck. A desperate need for change, and teams holding on to the hope that a miracle player could change everything. Just take a look at Caitlin Clark, who entered the game and completely changed the course of Indiana Fever. Now, every struggling team is crossing their fingers in the hopes of finding their own savior, but the truth is that players like Clark don't just appear every draft. Even with the lottery gods grinning, there is no assurance that a pick that changes lives will be selected, but that glimmering hope that it's all worthwhile.
For somebody that don't watch WNBA basketball, to have women dunking on other women would definitely bring more excitement to that game.
Therefore, don't assume that the WNBA Draft Lottery is just about bringing in new players. Rather, it's a roller coaster of emotions and a do-or-die situation that might drastically alter these clubs' futures.
It is a lifeline.
A last-ditch effort to remain relevant, and occasionally, the only hope that sustains certain franchises due to a few numbered balls determining their fate.
We're only playing basketball to dunk? Like, I'm not sure.
As for the 2025 WNBA Draft Lottery, where desperation is practically leaking out of every team executive's pores, let's start with the Los Angeles Sparks. Do you recall the team's glory days, when they were a dominant force that dominated headlines and stacked championships? Well, those days are long gone, and the Sparks are currently in serious trouble with a record over the last 2 years that is worse than a turnover in the last seconds of a game, with 22 wins and a stomach-turning 55 losses this season alone. They managed an incredible 8 victories against a heartbreaking 32 losses. It's most likely the type of performance that keeps executives up at night. The Dallas Wings, on the other hand, aren't exactly flying high with only 9 wins and a brutal 31 losses in 2024. Their combined record over 2 seasons sits at a not-so-pretty 31-49, but here's the kicker. They share those odds with the Chicago Sky, so it's basically a desperate tie. The Wings got a taste of the playoffs in 2023, but that spark quickly fizzled out, and now they're back in the trenches praying for a draft miracle to set their franchise on fire, naturally.
No.
I mean, because listen, y'all are doing the step back, the pull back, y'all doing everything we're doing, but I don't see a lot of people going up with 2 hands and, back.
Oh, it's coming. Opportunity is a...
So you don't think if we just drop it to 9, 10
Nah,
and a half?
I guarantee.
Flash?
Layla, she's in the dance, but my next child will be drop step dunking, I promise.
The Chicago Sky, on the other hand, are in no better shape either. Having finished 31-49 over the previous 2 seasons, they share a 22.7% chance of obtaining the top pick, and let's face it, they desperately need it. In 2024, they stumbled to a dismal 13 wins and 27 losses. Sure, they had a brief period of playoff success in 2023, but since then, the wheels have come off, and the Sky fans are only one more disappointing season away from barging the front office with picket signs. They need a player who can turn this sinking ship around, and it's all riding on a handful of bouncing ping-pong balls.
So, the 2025 WNBA Draft obviously is headlined by Paige Bueckers. Paige Bueckers, one of the best players that there's been. Obviously, she could have came out last year, but if she was in last year's draft, she would have been the number 2 to Caitlin Clark.
Last but not least, the Washington Mystics have a slim 10.4% chance of being selected first. They finished the 2024 season with 14 wins and 26 losses, making them the kid at the back of the line hoping for a miracle. A year ago, they were contenders for the playoffs, but now reality has hit them hard and they don't have much of a chance. Let's face it, though, they know they have an uphill battle.